Alright, well, I guess I just need to show you guys what I'm working on before I forget. I'm filling in this ditch for what's left of it. I pumped it out so it's nice and dry. But this ditch here was one of the first real landmarks, if you will, that we made when we came in here and started working. We cleared the driveway, and when we came in to clear, I was trying to get the flooding issue under control, so I told the guys that were doing my clearing work to dig this little levee around the edge, or dig this little ditch and use the dirt just to flip over and build a levee, just to give me a little barrier to keep outside water out, which worked long term, but I don't need it anymore because now we built all of our elevation up in here, and of course this low spot's all surrounded by roads, so it's got plenty of protection. So this little ditch is worthless. It just fills with water, holds mosquitoes and snakes and varmints. So I'm trying to finally get it filled in. All I'm doing is just going right along the edge of the tree line here. I've got Rosie parked here beside the driveway, and I'm just working my way right down the tree line along the ditch, and I'm basically just pulling in the levee that they had originally piled up. I'm just pulling it back into the ditch to fill the ditch in. As I go through, of course, I'm turning up all sorts of debris. There's chunks of 2x6 there and here from the truck mats. I'm getting little bits of tree debris mixed in and trash, but right now I'm just doing kind of the bulk teardown of it. And then I'll come through and I'll actually try to get all the debris out, and then I'll get the box blade with the tractor and try to really smooth it and pack it real good. So for right now, just trying to get the bulk of it ripped down and kind of leveled back in, and then I'll try to get it smoothed out, and probably too dry to plant any grass or too hot, but at least get it smoothed out for now. It's real flat, so it's not like it's going to erode or really go anywhere. So let's try to get it smoothed out, cleaned up, and just let the grasses and weeds kind of take back over as they feel fit. But anyway, just figured I'd mention it. One of these little kind of wrap-up deals I'm just trying to do to try to get things, you know, more under control, and try to get things looking more like a homestead and less like a construction site. Well, it doesn't look great for now, but I'm done with the big digging anyway of Rosie. It goes pretty quick, but you can kind of get an idea maybe now looking over where I've heaped it up. I just want to use the excavator to break it because it's, you know, hard packed. Been hard packed there for, oh gee, almost 4 years. Sounds hard to believe, but I guess so. So yeah, there's still kind of a little hard spot there, but I think I got it mostly broke up enough that I can get on it with the tractor and box blade now and really smooth it out. But you kind of get an idea now. There is a drop off behind, but I'll get all that leveled off. I'm gonna have to go through here by hand and pick out 2x6s because they've got nails in them from those old truck mats. I don't want to pick those up in the tractor tire. It's one big advantage to having metal track machines, huh? You ain't gotta worry about nails. So I just came along here, oh, I don't know, 100, 150 feet. Walked along here and just cut it all down. Now when I got over to here, there's a big wet spot because that's where I dug a sump hole just the other day. You can see where this mud is. I shoved it back in, but it's a big soft spot. I pulled some of this concrete up, try to get it out of the ditch, but I couldn't reach any further back in there to fill in the rest of it because the tractor's sitting here and I couldn't drive. Sorry, I got a text message, I got distracted. I couldn't drive. I needed to go right there with the excavator in order to be able to dig and pull this little bit of the ditch in, but it's a very small amount of the ditch that's left. I will get it soon, or I'll fill it in with just a bucket load or two of dirt from the tractor. I gotta get all this concrete picked up too. I want to haul it back around and dump it in the pond for fish habitat though. I put some in the goat pen for them to run around on and wear their hooves, but they never do. So I'm just gonna throw it in the bottom, sink it in the bottom of the pond for you know, just fish habitat. So I don't want to bust it up too small. I want to try to keep it big so it actually makes like some rock shells kind of for them. So anyway, that's it for now on filling in the ditch. Ooh, see there's a big chunk there that I missed, but that's because there's a little clump of maple trees and I want to try to save them. There's a little clump of maple trees in there amongst the tallow. I want to try to save them if I can and transplant them to the yard this fall, just to try to get, you know, some better deciduous trees in the yard. See if I can walk over here and see if I didn't tear them up too much. How many are there? That's a limb, or maybe that was one. Oh yeah, let's see, that's tallow. Here's a maple, here, that's a maple, that's a maple. If I can get them separated, and there's at least two if I can get them broke apart. Those would be nice. I mean, those trees, if you buy them in a pot, they'd cost you 75 or 80 bucks. So try to save them if I can. But anyway, give you kind of a little look down the ditch. I basically just pulled the berm forward for now, but like I said, I'll get it all bladed out, smoothed out, and get all this debris out of it, and it should look pretty good. All right, well, I got about an hour on it tonight. It's the day after the box blade. I know it's still not perfect, but looks a hell of a lot better. It's hard to blade this stuff out because it's got all this debris in it still, all these roots and garbage. Muscadine vine I drug all. I had to back all the way to the Connex box to pull this daggum muscadine vine. It got hung on the bucket, so I just kept backing up, backing up, backing up. It was way up top the fork of that tree. I pushed back in here quite a bit, just shoved the stuff back. I mean, these muscadine vines just piled on top of each other. They make like a bush. They're so thick. But there was a wall of them here yesterday, and I pushed them all back down in just to kind of clear into the trees a little bit so I could see a little better, and so that when I backed over there and drug the blade, I didn't snag them again, because I kept snagging them. It's ticking me off. So anyway, this area over here is pretty well finished out. I think it's got some little highs and lows, but I mean, it's by no means perfect, and I'm not really worried if it ever is. If anything, it'll be the rough edges of a yard. You know, it's not going to be my main yard, and I may put some dirt back in here still, and you know, keep pushing out and sloping out. But the ditch is gone. That's what's important. The ditch is gone. I might still have some low spots, but I mean, basically right now where we're standing would be in the ditch. The ditch is gone, the berm is gone. That's what I wanted. So that now water will shed off the driveway and it'll come right down in here, run off out in the woods like it's supposed to. So it's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I wouldn't say it's looking pretty good, but it's looking a heck of a lot better than it was. We'll let this grow up in grass, and then I don't have to explain to every visitor that comes what the ditch was for. Ditch is gone. Ditch doesn't raise questions. So anyway, it's gone all through here. Got her all filled in, pretty well roughed out. There's a low spot right there, right in here, that I couldn't seem to get enough dirt for. There's a hump there, and that's dirt that's humped up there, but I couldn't get it to break loose with the box blade to tear it back down. So I'll just have to fill that later. And then of course there's still this big hump here, which has got the maple trees in it that I want to keep, so I left it. And I just kind of wasted what was left back into this hole. So where I'm standing right here, this is where I had the sump hole, so I'm actually really happy that's holding up, because that had some water in it still when I pushed it in yesterday. So getting that pushed in, a little wasted some more dirt here. I got to get all my concrete moved, like I said, and then I'll be able to finish all that out better. And then here's all that's left of the ditch. This little raccoon tracked up mess. That's it. So that'll still hold some water for now, but it's going to be a small enough volume that eventually I'll just dump a load of dirt in there and it'll be toast. So yeah, just figured I'd show you that. I'm going to go ahead and probably upload this as it is, because I don't know when I'll ever get around to finishing this like usual. But it's about 75% done. That's enough to make me happy. I had some fun on the tractor. Feel like I made some progress on something. So we'll let the grass and weeds start taking it over. And 6 months, you won't even know it was ever here.